Hey everybody, Leadspeed here. So, yeah, Madolche. It's been a while since I've posted a video with them too. And honestly, in the case of Madolche as opposed to Sylvan's, I have actually played Madolche before. And technically, I have played them since Return of the Duelist, but I've never posted any duels with them back then. I actually have like an old... I still have like the very first build of Madolche that I ever put together, and I guess just as like kind of a random trip back in time, I guess it was just, yeah, the stuff was weird because Magin was great, Butler Rusk was okay, Chevalier was all right. I mean, well, he was, I don't know, he wasn't that great, but he was okay for what he was. The Kitty Cat Mufway was okay, but he didn't really synergize with many of the monsters except maybe Puddingcess. And then, I guess speaking of the Pudding Princess was weird. She was level 5 and she blew stuff up when she did battle with an opponent's monster. So, and then they had like a field spell that increases their attack, and then when they die, you can put them back into the hand. So it was just kind of a very weird archetype in Return of the Duelist, and people didn't really consider him like great at all. Now, when Abyss Rising revealed cards like Madolche Ticket, Madolche Messengelato, Madolche Marmalade, Madolche Queen Tiramisu, Madolche Palooza, or back when, or actually, the trap card was called Madolche Happy Festa, which obviously is now Palooza, but I mean, that's not really the point, is it? And yeah, once I found out about the new stuff, I was just like, oh my god, there's actual synergy with some of the monsters now. You can summon Messengelato, and you can get a spell trap card that's Madolche related from your deck to your hand, as long as you had a beast type Madolche, and ta-da! The kitty cat just happened to be a beast. Go figure, huh? So yeah, there was some synergy there. I even ran Marmalade for a bit, because she could recycle the spells and traps, the Madolche spells and traps. And then you had the Queen Tiramisu, which is, oh my god, one of the best Xyzs, period. Just because of her effect and everything like that. And for the archetype you run her in, it's one of the few cards that you could say Madolche was competitive for, where you could say Queen Tiramisu was the reason that Madolche was ever considered competitive at the time. Now, of course, the trick was getting monsters in the getting Madolches in the graveyard. Now, with the fact that Tiramisu existed, you basically had a reason to run like other monsters, like MX Saber Invoker, Levier, the Sea Dragon sometimes, and stuff like that, because they get Madolche monsters into the graveyard, and then when you go for Tiramisu, I could just go, oh, activate her effect, because I have Madolches in my graveyard now. I could detach a Madolche, and then I could put 2 back into the deck, or if I have Madolche Chateau out, I could put them into my hand instead of the deck. So I could go really, really plus, and stuff like that, and basically bounce my opponent's cards into the deck. And since her effect did not target nor destroy, it was arguably one of the best forms of removal in the game. Because most monsters can, like cards like Stardust Dragons, Zenmaines, like they're immune to destruction, basically, but you could just bounce them into the deck. Or even in the weird cases like number 49, Fortune 2, where you can't even target him with card effects. Well, Tiramisu just says, screw that, I'm not going to target your stuff. I'm just going to inherently bounce cards into the deck, kind of like how Spellbook of Fate and Prophecy works. You have to respond with card effects immediately before her effect resolved. So yeah, that card just happened to be really good. Now, obviously the deck still has some issues because you can open really clumpy. You can have like Mew and Mageline, but you know, Mageline can get you Messengelato, but you're gonna sometimes open really clumpy. You might have like multiple Messengelatos and no Mewfway or something weird like that. So what was to happen from here? Well, Lord of the Tachyon Galaxy introduced a couple of cards for the archetype. There was like 2 of them, I think. Well, mainly 2. Madolche Hootcake and Madolche Knights. Now, Madolche Knights was okay. It's probably not as good right now because you're probably gonna have monsters in the graveyard all the time. Like if you're running stuff like Maxi or Effect Veiler and stuff like that for Hoot Cake, but the card was alright. If you had PSΣ, you can like shuffle an opponent's card in their hand to the deck at random. But it's not that common. But Hoot Cake though, Hoot Cake was that shit basically because you had a reason to run cards like Maxi and Effect Veiler now. Because Hoot Cake just banished any Madolche monster, not any Madolche, any monster from your graveyard, then you would special summon a Madolche out of your deck. Didn't matter what level it was, so you can get out PSΣ if you wanted. And obviously because PSΣ's effect counts on you having no monsters in the graveyard, Hoot Cake actually does help with that. But, you know, people mainly just go, oh, get Messenger Lotto, get a Madolche Spell Trap card, because Hoot Cake, even though he's an owl, he's a beast type monster. Yeah, because that makes sense, right? It's Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, screw logic. I mean, that's basically how this archetype kind of is. That's why freaking Bionic Dragon of the Ice Barrier is a freaking sea serpent. But we're kind of digressing a little bit. So, Hoot Cake opens quite a bit more plays now because, heck, having a monster in the graveyard when you have Mufway and Hoot Cake lets you do some pretty crazy stuff. So, yeah. Now came Primal Origin, and we get introduced to a card which single-handedly kind of made me stop playing the deck for a long while. And I'm talking about Madolche Anjelly. Now, Madolche Anjelly is a very interesting card. The reason I say that is because Anjelly has the effect of tributing herself to get a Madolche out of the deck. Now, this is very similar to Lone Fire Blossom, and we all know how powerful that card is for plants. But the thing is, since Anjelly puts herself in the graveyard, that just means, oh, tribute herself off, get Hoot Cake. Hoot Cake, banish Anjelly, get a monster out of the deck. Now, if you had Mufway and Anjelly, you could basically do a crazy play, which I kind of explained in one of my videos, my discussion videos with pinnacle and Anjelly, where basically you go Mew, Anjelly tribute, get Hoot Cake, banish Anjelly, get Messenger Lotto, then you overlay the Mew and the Hoot Cake for Leviair detach Mew, get Anjelly, overlay the Messenger Lotto and Anjelly and make Tiramisu, activate Tiramisu's effect, you know, bounce the detach Anjelly, bounce the Mew and Anjelly to your hand because you're probably gonna have Chateau because of freaking Messenger Lotto, and then you bounce two of your opponent's cards, and let's say you have Madolche Ticket out too, you can get a monster out of your deck. Yeah, this shit's crazy, and the thing is, it's very easy now. Anjelly also helps in that the monster that you summon with Anjelly can't be destroyed in battle. So on the random off chance that you don't want to go for a big play, if they go like Maxi, you can just go, okay, I'll summon Hoot Cake or someone like PSΣ. You can't destroy either in battle, and if you dare to try to attack PSΣ, your monster is probably going to get destroyed. Or one of your spells and trap cards is going to get destroyed. So Anjelly just opens up a lot of different plays, and the reason I say I haven't played this deck since then is just because at the time when she came out, when she was revealed and was on Death Row, nobody wanted to play against this archetype because Anjelly was just crazy. It was kind of like how Spellbook of Judgment was, how seeing the mere sight of that card caused people to either quit or just get pissed off. I mean, I'm sure you guys remember how that card was, and I almost feel that's kind of how it is for this card. Now, obviously, over time, the hype's died down a little bit, but Anjelly just suddenly makes the archetype incredibly powerful. And I'm definitely going to try playing the archetype more often, but I'm not going to expect people to not get upset because Anjelly's ridiculous. In fact, you'd almost have to wonder, did they need it? I mean, in a way, it does something. I mean, it kind of helps in some way because with Anjelly, you don't have to run non-Madolches in the deck now if you didn't want to. I run Instant Fusion because it doesn't use up main deck space. Well, let me clarify. It doesn't use main deck space. I can summon a fusionist or whatever, and then go for my plays. Especially if they used Effect Veiler, I can still do stuff basically. So I don't know. it's just crazy like how far this archetype has become since Return of the Duelist. And yeah, this is definitely an archetype to look out for. And yeah, you'll probably see some more Madolches here and there, some Gustos, stuff like that. And yeah, let me know what you think about Madolche right now. Like, do you think that they're gonna be like tier 1? Do you think that they'll be so powerful that they'll get hit on the ban list at some point? Or maybe you think that they'll still be inconsistent, they'll still have clumpy hands, and they won't get touched at all. Maybe they'll hit something indirectly or whatever and stuff like that. So it's crazy, really. But yeah, it's kind of bittersweet, I guess, being a Madolche player. Well, for some people it was pretty bittersweet, because I'm sure that there were people who played Madolche since like day one, and yeah, all of a sudden this happens. So yeah, let me know what you guys think, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.